All right, here we go once again. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Misfit Corner Comics Presents. This is the artist Andrew speaking, and I am once again live streaming. And as always, I'm joined by my ever faithful companion and artist, Avery Butterworth. Say hi, Avery.
Hey, what's up?
So, what do you got cooking in the oven?
I'm eating some pizza rolls. That's all.
Oh, okay. You want to hear something funny? I'll tell you. I'll make this.
Wait, real quick. Can you hear the TV in the background? Is that coming through?
Nope.
Okay, cool.
My head. Yeah, I got the headphones on, and I'm not picking up anything. So. Oh, hey, comics. Says hi. This is Fortnite Tunes. Very cool.
And in the background.
Oh, okay.
I lost you.
No, it's all right. I was just saying hi to Comics. He was in the chat.
Who?
Cosmics.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, all right. Well, are you gonna stick around for a second so I can tell you this quick story, or are you gonna go get your food and come back?
I'm already here. I'm eating. That's the reason.
Oh, okay.
I mute every once in a while when I put up.
So I picked Mike up. I gotta hit the record button over here. I picked Mike up from work, and we're on our way to go get dinner. On the way heading home, we stop at Burger King. It's on the way home, and he realizes he forgot his keys for work. He had to the compactor keys or whatever, so we had to turn around and go back to work. So it's not a big deal. So, and on the way back, there's a commercial on the radio talking about the Red Cross and its fire safety and so forth with all the crap going on in California. And they said, make sure your kids know the escape route for your house and so forth and all that good stuff. And I turned to Mike and I said, Mike, you grab the goddamn cat, you get the hell out of the house. And he goes to me, he says, yeah, as I kick and trip the dog. And I'm like, what? He goes, and he says, make sure I grab the marshmallows. And I'm like, what the heck are you talking about? He says, you grab the chocolate and mom grabs the graham crackers. And I'm like, dude, you're so sick. He's like going to kick my dog on the way out of the house, the burning house. Isn't that wonderful?
I like that. I kind of want to kick your dog.
Oh, that's just so mean. It's so mean.
Excuse me. I'm still getting over this cold.
No, my dog's wonderful.
Your dog's a yippy little beast.
No, he's not. He's not a yippy dog. All right, so just to let you all know what we're doing here. Usually during these live streams, I do a little drawing. Avery does a little coloring. And we just chit-chat about whatever the heck we want to talk about. And is there any comic news worthy of talking about right now? Oh, dude, I got to tell you this. It was hilarious. I've got to look it up because I may have to make a video about it. I think Tug's already done a video about it. But Hasbro is releasing a Millennials Monopoly game. Oh my gosh, it is hilarious. They even put on it that the people buying it should go play it in their parents' basement. And it sounds so freaking hilarious. And you know, I have some millennials in my life. Mike didn't think it was funny, but I bet my daughter would get a kick out of it.
Mike's not a millennial. He's just of that right age group.
82 is supposedly the beginning of the millennials. So, and he was born in 93, so technically he's in that generation. You know, really? Ayla was 95, so
I thought the millennials were the ones that are a little bit younger than that, but okay.
Yeah. I think it's 18 by the year 2000, coming of age, becoming an adult
Gotcha.
By 2000. So technically they're in that group. So Comics says, I really want to read your finished graphic novels. Well, that's awesome. And we will get them out there just as soon as possible.
And we have more stuff than Hero also.
Yes, we are working on some other projects. One of the things Malin had asked me last night is, so what have you done? I mean, tell us a little bit about yourself. And I mentioned that Hero Book 1 was like the 4th graphic novel that I did. I didn't go into too much what the other ones were, but I did a creator-owned series, like almost right out of high school, called Tales from the Cornerstone. And Avery and I are in serious discussions about bringing Cornerstone back, and Avery wants to do the illustrations for it, which to me, that is absolutely freaking awesome. But I got to sit down and start writing out some of the plans. I have an overarching plan, but I have to sit down and actually, write stuff down, because Avery has a really bad time reading my mind. And I keep sending him messages and sending him ideas and sending him all these really cool plot points and character designs, and he just doesn't pick them up. It just doesn't get through to him. Yeah, so I actually have to put it down on paper for him to get it. So
yeah, I kind of need a complete script.
Yeah, you're such a
Hey, I can just start drawing a bunch of cool stuff of the characters and my version of the characters doing stuff, and you write some dialogue to it afterwards.
We should do it the Marvel way. That's right. Inspired by Stan Lee. You draw the pictures, and then I'll write the dialogue.
What's funny is, some of those stories, Stan would give Jack a plot. Jack would just draw and write 22 pages.
Yep.
Turn it in. Never look at it again and not realize that Stan then changed everything Jack had wrote.
Yes. Hey, D chimed in and says, "Congrats on the John Malin interview. Avery coloring makes everything pop." Yes, he does. Oh, that reminds me, Avery.
Thank you.
I brought up the file that I copied all the files into, and I saw one page so far that isn't colored.
What's that?
Do you remember the double page splash? Oh, you know what? Maybe you colored the both of them together, and that's what I.
Yes, the one.
Okay. Okay. Which one?
The one where they're on the skull.
No. The one with the tree.
I don't know.
Okay, I'll double check it. But Comic says I'm reading Amulet by Kazuo Kibushi, and it's really good graphic novel book series. Have you heard about the graphic novel series? I am familiar with the title, but I've never picked it up and read it. Hey, Dream Mirror Brony, how's it going, man?
Bring up the page so I can see. I'm watching your screen.
You're watching my screen? Oh, well, damn it.
Wait.
Let me. I actually gotta get the file. And by the way,
remember, you had 3 double page spreads in that book, right?
1, 2. I'll have to double check. Hold on, man. Let me see.
Remember, there's a couple of them I colored that way and gave to you, and I told you on that file they're not there because I already gave them to you.
Well, okay. Let me double check it, but it's the double page spread that's pages 106 and 107. 107 is still black and white. Now, it is a double page spread, which means you might have sent me the whole thing.
Uh-huh. Remember, you put them together.
Page 93 is not colored either. I got to double check because these are some that you may have already sent me. So I rebooted my computer earlier because I was having issues. And
page 93. I'm bringing.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what? Page 93 isn't colored. I just checked it. I missed it.
That's all right.
What's the other pages?
107. It's the other half of a double page spread.
Yes, I colored that and sent it to you.
Okay, I'll have to
send it to you. See, I told you, get those pages, keep track of them.
Okay, well, I've got them all. I've got every file you've ever sent me. It's just not always in the same spot.
Okay, 93. I just missed it.
Okay, no problem.
It got lost in the shuffle.
Damn it, man! You're screwing up my. Oh, it's all right.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. All right, now where was I?
I'll just color it this weekend.
All right. Well, I just want to say an extra special thanks to everybody, Avid, D, everybody else that came out on the John Malin stream and chat, Todd, Avery, everybody that was fantastic. I really appreciated it. I especially like the fact that Avid, who's not here right now, hopefully he'll be able to join. We actually met him a couple months ago. And I gave him copies of the book of Hero Book 1 and 2, the black and white versions. So I thought it was really great when during the conversation where he said on the chat, is there a bad guy? And because he knows that there was a bad guy because he's seen the books. And I was like, oh, I totally forgot to mention that. I really need to write down some notes. So next time I do something like that, an interview, that I cover some of the more basic and important things. But I had a great time. And the fact that John Malin is willing to do that for people he doesn't know, just invite him on his stream. And all I did was I only showed him the cover, and he said, hey, this looks cool. Let's talk. And then I sent him the link to my online portfolio. And he's like, dude, can I show this to everybody? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. And it's just fantastic what those guys do, And I'm hoping to reach out to a few more of them, and we'll see what happens. But I'm definitely working on the Indiegogo. Actually, I'll have more time tomorrow because Mike has taken his mom to go see a movie tomorrow night, and I'm not live streaming tomorrow night. So I'll have a block of several hours where I'll get to work on either Hero Book 1 color files or working on setting up the Indiegogo. Hopefully I'll be able to do both.
Yeah. Definitely work on the Indiegogo.
Yeah, I know. It was the one thing I regretted not having ready by the time John said, hey, let's talk. And the funny thing was, he responded way quicker than I thought he would. I was like expecting, like a couple days before he said anything, and he responded almost right away. And I was blown away by that. I thought that was absolutely awesome. D says you need a 1-3 line pitch for Hero. I do have one. I have a 30-second pitch, and I tend to, when I start it, I get lost. And I want to go off and I want to start talking about all the other things. But I do have a pitch. All right, let me see if I can do it. This is a 30-second pitch. Anybody got a clock out? Got a timer out there, and you can time me on this one?
No.
Avery?
No.
Come on, you're not helping me out here, man.
Oh man, I thought I muted my mic. Dang it.
My 30-second pitch is, take a deep breath. Hero. Oh, well, no, actually. Okay. Wait, is there a first book out? Comics. We actually are working on book 3 right now. I'm in the process of illustrating book 3. Avery is just beginning the coloring of book 2, and he just completed the coloring of book 1. That's what we're going to do in the Indiegogo, is the color version of book 1. But book 2 is already illustrated. It's already inked. It's already lettered. It's already been printed a few times. I do have some copies of it, and we're in the middle of book 3. So yeah, we have, this is a project that we're not just, hey, check out our first book. We're committed to this thing, and in many, many, many ways. So if you get book 1 and you like it, trust me, there's more coming. Actually, when I first did Cornerstone, I had a retailer, a comic book store owner, who gave me some advice that I really took to heart. And he said, we were talking about self-publishing, and he says, one of the things you need to make sure you do, is get several books done before you go to print on the first one. And he said, because there are a lot of people that do independent books, they put out the first issue, people love it, they like it, and then they're like, okay, where's the next one? And within a month or so, they're wanting the next book. If you don't have, a book or 2 or 3 or 4 in the can ready to go, people will lose interest. And that's one of the reasons why when I did Cornerstone, originally Cornerstone was 4 or 5 issues. I don't remember exactly. But I committed to getting all the issues done before I went to print on the first one. And then that's when my friend Todd actually gave me some advice. He said, dude, you already have the first 4 or 5 issues done. Why not just do it as a graphic novel instead of doing it as individual issues? I was like, oh my God, that's such a great idea, because at the time I was very much a wait for the trade collecting graphic novel person. And I said, that's perfect. That's exactly what I'll do. Well, when I started Hero, I did not intend to do individual issues. I intended it to be a completed graphic novel from the very beginning. And as soon as book 1 was done, I rolled right into book 2. And as soon as book 2 was done, I rolled right into book 3. So.
And we tried to chop it up into issues, and it didn't work.
Yeah. Well, I never intended it to be done in issues, even though I did separate the story into chapters. But the first chapter, which is the first like 22 pages, is really just an introduction of the characters. There's not a lot happening. There's not a lot that happens in that first issue. You just get introduced to a whole bunch of people. And it's really not a strong issue. But as the introduction to the whole book, it's a much better opening thing. So Cosmic says, cool, maybe we'll be able to get book 1 when it comes out. Absolutely. Or it is out. No, it is not. Well, I printed versions of the black and white book, which I'll show you guys. And I'll print up some copies before I go to a convention or to a show or to an appearance. And this is book 1 right here. This is the black and white version. And I only have a few of these left. Actually, I think I only have 1 set left, and I've actually put them aside for somebody, so I don't have any on me right now that I could sell. But this right here is book 2, which is actually bigger than book 1. Actually, what was it? 100. The first book was 150 pages was the main story. This one's 176 pages for the main story, but it also had a 4-page epilogue and then an 8-page backup story. So 176 plus 12, that's 188. I think the total was like 350. What was it? 188 plus 162. Yeah, the first 2 books combined were 350 pages, which is pretty damn cool, if I do say so myself. But there was a lot of love and a lot of work put into those things. So, all right, give me just a second. I'm gonna stop this video because I really didn't do.
Yeah, that's one of the double page spreads I colored together, and I can't find where that ended up getting saved. That's the reason I told you to hang on to those.
Oh, I know.
Because I had some files. Something happened to them. I don't know where they went. They're probably on my hard drive somewhere, but I think they accidentally got saved someplace else somehow.
Okay.
Like I was in my texture folder or something, and sometimes I'll be working on something. I go into my texture folder. I go to save what I'm working on, and instead of saving it where I think I saved it in that texture folder.
Right.
It's happened a bunch of times over multiple computers. So I need to go.
Well, I'm pretty sure I sent you a copy of that file with both pages together for you to color. So there's a version where it's somewhere. We've got it somewhere. You know,
like there's pictures of me working on it that way, like on my Instagram.
Yeah. Book 1, Cosmics asks when will book 1 come out? I have some prep work that I have to do for the book 1, but most likely it'll all be done during the campaign. And as soon as the Indiegogo campaign is done, we'll put an order in for the books. And within, I think, it all really depends on the shipping time, how long it takes to get to me, and how long it takes to get to the customers. Shouldn't take that long at all. So I'm going to start the initial campaign probably for a month. It may get pushed if we need some additional time, but by spring of next year, by January, February, people should start getting books in their hot little hands. So that's the goal. And then hopefully, Avery, how long do you think it's going to take to color book 2? If you had a ballpark figure on it. 6 months, 8 months.
It depends on how fast I can work on it.
Okay.
It depends on the support for one. If we barely get funded, it's going to take a year. Yeah. Because I have to color it in my spare time.
Yeah.
2 or 3 pages a week, tops. It can take almost a year, at least 8 months.
Okay.
If people like really support it because they like it, because people really they want it, they like it, and it does really well.
Yeah, just so you guys know, when it comes to the campaign, I'm not in this to make a whole bunch of money. I'm not in this to pay for my lavish lifestyle. I want to print the book and get it into people's hands. If we make a profit, the majority of that is going to go towards paying Avery to color the next book. Mike and I never did this for money. So I mean, I have a day job that pays me very well. So I'm not in this to make thousands and thousands of dollars. I'm in it to make a book that I can give to people that they're going to enjoy. And that's my only goal. I mean, really. I mean, if somebody wants to come along, you know, several months from now, and they see a copy of book 1 and maybe a copy of book 2, and they just happen to own like a huge animation studio like DreamWorks or Disney, and they want to option it to make it into an animated feature, cool, go for it. I'd love for that to happen. But that, you know, we'll see. I would rather make a book, give it to somebody who can share it with a kid who looks at this and goes, oh, this is great, I love this, and looks forward to the next one. My job is done, people. I did exactly what I wanted to do, you know? So Cosmic says, I bet I'm going to buy the book. All right, that's awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, I really should ask people, do you have kids? Do you have nephews, nieces, you know, brothers and sisters, you know, that would be into this kind of thing? Because those are the I will tell you guys a little story. Earlier this year, I signed up to do a show at our downtown library here in Jacksonville, and it was a big creator type thing where mostly it was writers and people who had books. Well, I reached out to them and I said, hey, I've got this graphic novel, this kid-friendly graphic novel, and they were like, that's wonderful, great. They set me up. My table was on the second floor, directly across from the children's section of the library. And that was absolutely fantastic. I met so many mothers, so many grandmothers, so many fathers who had kids. And my display is usually I just have this big, huge display on my table with just all the original art. And people who walk by see the art and they have to stop and they have to turn around. They have to come back. They have to find out what's going on. I have my art has the ability to stop people in their tracks. And once I tell them it's a kid-friendly book, I show them the art, I show them the book. I made some really great sales that day from people who weren't planning on buying anything. They were just going to the library to check out what was there. And it was a fantastic feeling because, number one, these are people that aren't in comic book stores. They don't go to comic book stores. You know, they were taking their families to the library, you know, where they don't expect to pay for anything. You know, people that go to the library are there to check out stuff, but they were willing to buy my book just because of what I had in front of me and the pitch that I gave them. And that's fantastic. I actually even had a lady who followed me on Facebook after she bought a copy of book 1 at our comic book store. And she texted me on Facebook and said, hey, are you at the library? And I said, yes, I am. And she says, I'm on my way. I need a copy of book 2. So I held a copy of book 2 aside for her. And when she found me, she was like so amazed. And it just made me feel so great that somebody had found my book through another outlet, not me, and had searched me out in order to get the next book. And to me, that's just like, wonderful day, absolutely great day. Can't wait to tell this story to everybody. You know, it was just great. But I've had a lot of experiences like that because in 2017, I did a lot of traveling. I went all the way up to Pennsylvania, went all the way down to Miami, went to different shows and met a lot of people. And it's great when you set up at a free comic book day and somebody comes in and says, hey, I got a copy of your book when I saw you in Fort Lauderdale. And it's just so cool to have that experience. And it happens so many times. But I'm very blessed that I have some fans out there. But guys, there's more coming. trust me, we're working on it hard, and we hope to. My original goal was a book a year. That's kind of had to slow down recently because of the fact that I have gone back to work full time. But these ideas I can't hold them in. I got to get them out on paper. I got to draw them. I got to tell the story. So it's going to keep on coming. So, oh, hey Commodore, how's it going, man? He says he trusts me. Commodore's a sucker. I'm just kidding. All right. So what else am I going to draw tonight? I feel in the mood to draw something different. Any suggestions out there? Anybody out there have any suggestions for something to draw? Now I have to warn you all, I'm really crappy when it comes to comic book characters and so forth. Like Avid asked me to draw a picture of the Shadow for him, and the Shadow picture I did was so bad I couldn't give it to him because it stunk so bad. But that's the kind of thing what happens when you've been drawing. Ooh, a panda. Ooh. Draw Stan Lee. Ooh, Stan Lee as a panda. I could do that. I'm just kidding.
Don't draw Stan Lee as a panda.
Actually, I have drawn Stan Lee before, believe it or not.
Don't draw Stan Lee as a panda.
Stan Lee as a panda. You know, I had a panda character for one of the stories that wasn't hero related. It was something else, but Stan the Panda Lee. That's right. Hey, Justin, how's it going, man? You know, I may have to actually get an image of Stan Lee to do this with. That might be funny. Let's see here. Yeah, I have family and friends that have asked me, "Hey, will you draw this caricature?" And I'm like, I suck at caricatures. I suck when it comes at drawing people. But you know what? I can draw me a panda, you know?
That's because he's secretly a furry.
I'm not. Hey, somebody who checked out Hero asked me if I was interested in doing a furry convention, and I said, maybe. I don't know. I didn't know anything about it, so.
No. Andrew, no.
Yeah, I know. We've had this discussion.
If they like the book and want to buy it, hey, great. That's not what this is. This is an all ages book.
Okay, so Commodore says, so what margin do you expect to make on books? Do you mean like profit margins? Frickin' A, I'd be happy if I made enough to cover printing and enough to cover Avery's the cost it's going to take for him to color book 2. So I'd be happy with just that.
Yeah, just getting funded to print the book's going to be a miracle.
I don't think it's going to be a miracle. I think we'll do better than that.
I'll consider it a huge success.
All right, let's see here.
It's not easy to get people, who are unfamiliar with you to trust, to just hand over their hard-earned money.
Yeah, well, I know.
It's a gamble.
Yeah, but I've always said with my stuff, if I can show it to people and if I could pitch it to them, I can sell them on my book. I can. But that's not always easy. That's probably actually getting it in front of people is probably one of the hardest things to do. So, oh boy. I'm looking at pictures of pandas, and there's some people that do some really weird stuff with illustrations of pandas.
Those are called furries.
Yeah, well.
That's the reason you don't want to do a furry convention. It's fine if they like the book. We will take their money. No judgments. But the book itself is geared for an all ages appropriate crowd.
Did I tell you that I actually looked into one of the shows down in Orlando, and they had these rules about when you could be at the show, when you had to be set up, and there was like some type of lottery system in which it was really weird. I mean, it was really weird. Yeah, Commodore says the furry community is weird. Even some furries hate the furry community.
I'm not going to say I hate them. I'm not, anyone who likes our projects is welcome to buy them.
Hey,
I'm not going to turn down anyone's money on that. But this is the only project really that's got animal people.
Yeah, the other stuff we're working on does not have animal people. Well, actually, yes, it does. If you consider a werewolf an animal person.
Yeah, I won't get be technical. But it's not all ages stuff. We like everything, and we've got projects in mind for all types of crowds.
Yep.
If you like superheroes, if you like horror, we've got something. We've got something we want to do. It's hero is what's coming first.
Yep. And that's only because it's done.
Yeah.
I'm sure if we had something else done first, then we would go with that. So, but nope, it was the first thing we got done, and it's mainly because I was going to say we've been working on it the longest, but the truth is, the graphic novel, my portion of it's been done going on 2 years now?
Yeah.
For book one?
Yeah. And to start with, the coloring was going way, 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 way slower.
Yeah.
It was something I really, really did. And like, okay, I've got a little bit of time this week. I'll color a page or two.
Yeah.
Now, if people really respond really strongly, and some things change, other projects can get sped up too.
Yeah.
That level of is highly unlikely.
Yeah, you never know. You never know what'll happen. I have high hopes that
I have high hopes. I'm just not running my mouth.
Yes.
It's let's be realistic. Just getting funded, massive victory. Eternally grateful for that happening.
Hey, did you hear that the winner of the $1.5 billion lottery has yet to come forward?
Wow. Where was the ticket sold?
North Carolina or one of those places.
Wow, they might not even know, or they're getting their ducks in a row with lawyers and stuff first.
Yeah. Well, I've been told that's one of the things you kind of have to do. You have to get lawyers in a row and.
Boy, I tell you, I wouldn't turn it down if I won.
Oh no, absolutely not.
But you know what? I'd rather just make a good living doing this stuff, doing our books.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Than just win the lottery. To tell you the truth, I'd rather have a little something for myself because we built something and people liked it. We made something and people liked it. That sounds better to me than just I picked out some lucky numbers.
Well, actually, I hit the Powerball last time and paid $4, and I just bought another Powerball ticket and a Mega Millions ticket. So we'll see if I can turn my winning into bigger winning.
Oh yeah, I've won a few bucks here and there before. I mean, somebody's got to win it.
yeah, true.
I won't turn it down if it happens. I won't be like, no thanks. The thing is, though, I'd still do comics. I'd still try to do comics, man, even if I had it.
Commodore says, I mean, even some anthro fetishers are tired of the furry community. The biggest issue is it's full of teenagers, and it's pretty much high school, and high school is full of drama. Furries are high schoolers, really?
I don't know.
Hmm. We avoided that scene altogether. So
Like there was no such thing as anime fans when we were in high school. The only people that knew what anime were comic book people.
yeah.
It was all the same crowd. Things hadn't split off, you know.
Yeah. Justin says that feels much of the internet to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, there's part of me that actually misses high school.
You. I don't.
I miss seeing my friends every day.
Yeah, if they were really your friends, you'd still see them.
Oh. Actually, all my friends I do still see.
There you go.
The ones I truly connected with, you know.
Yeah, well, see, there you go.
Yeah.
The other people weren't really your friends; they were just acquaintances.
Yeah.
You got to learn proper definitions.
Well, I don't think I lost anybody I went to high school with on my Facebook, so because none of them even have a clue what Comicsgate is.
Oh well.
So
Comicsgate adjacent.
a Commodore says, step 1, win the lottery. Step 2, make a hero movie. You know, to be honest with you, if anybody wanted to come along and make a hero movie, I'd be all for it. I mean, I have no problem with that whatsoever. But I don't think I'd make a movie. I don't think I have the animated chops to do it.
No, but you know someone who does.
I do, and
you could just put him in charge and give him $100 million and
$100 million.
yeah.
Well, it might take that much to make an animated movie. Do you know what studio I think would make a fantastic animated hero movie? The Latika, the one that did like Coraline and Kabuto and the three strings or whatever.
I don't know what that is.
It's the stop motion one.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, jeez Louise. It's on my Voodoo.
I don't know what that is.
Coraline and
I don't.
what was that other one?
You mean the Neil Gaiman one or what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't watch that.
No. Oh, it's pretty awesome.
I think I have the book for Coraline somewhere. Because I think it had Dave McKean illustrations. That's why I bought it.
It might have, to be honest with you.
I think I have it. I have it somewhere, I believe.
Well. Yeah, I don't think they did. I don't think that studio did Jack Skeleton, but something similar to that. It would either have to be that or 2D animation, because I love 2D animation. You know.
Yeah, Hero should be traditional 2D all the way, all of it.
Yeah.
Every last bit, like hand painted backgrounds.
Very, very much Secret of Nim-ish and so forth. Yes. Yeah, but
take the old Hobbit cartoon movie and cross it with Secret of Nim.
Yeah, but studios don't do that anymore. Well, they very rarely do 2D animation anymore.
I know. They think because 3D came along and some of the 3Ds did really, really well and some of their last 2Ds did really, really poorly, they think, well, 2D's dead. No, the last big 2D movies you did were awful.
Yeah.
And the 3D ones just happened to be really, really excellent. There's more to it than it's 2D or 3D. it was about the characters.
Yeah.
Story, you dummies.
Justin says, I feel like I would get more out of the classes now, too, for going back to high school. Dude, if I could go back to high school now, knowing what I know now, I'd have straight A's. I'd actually read a book. I'd actually prepare for tests. I would be so much more into it. I would get straight A's in every class. Because I remember my senior year, I was too busy chasing after, well, I'd say girls, but there was only one girl. That I really didn't prepare for tests. I didn't, I was really a bad student in my senior year. And if I knew now what I knew then, or if I knew then what I know now, I'd be killing it in every single class because it was so freaking easy. All you had to do was open up the book and read it. And I couldn't even do that half the time. That woman had a spell on me and I just, nope. I was not interested at all. That would be the person who eventually became my wife, just so you know. All right. Wind in the Willows, absolutely. They use face replacement in stop motion, and their faces are 3D printed, so when you watch Kabuto, it's 3D printed CGI. Yeah, I know that too, but I like the way it looks. There's a if you have the Kabuto in like a Blu-ray edition, they did a special like behind the scenes type thing, and I'm not sure if it was part of the credits or not, but they actually showed you one of the scenes in which the characters are facing this giant monster, and they showed you what the model looked like, the real model. It was just so freaking awesome. It was gorgeous how this thing was huge and just beautiful, and all I could think of to myself was, man, if somebody'd make a movie out of Hero, I'd love it to be, done like that.
See, I think it'd be better all 2D, but
yeah, I do. Well, I mean, I'd prefer it that way, but I also understand that I would not be the one responsible for making those decisions. So if somebody wants to take my property and take it into a different medium or a different, I'm perfectly fine with that, as long as they pay me, I'm kind of like Alan Moore in that respect. If you're going to take my story, you can do whatever you want with it. Just I don't have to be hands-on for every single part of it. As long as I'd sign any contract for them to do something, as long as I could continue doing what I'm doing, as long as it didn't interfere with me making graphic novels, then, whatever. I'm perfectly fine with that.
depends on the amount of money. Like if you're gonna butcher my IP, then pay me enough I don't have to worry about working it ever again.
Well, see, no, I'd want to continue working at it, so.
Yeah, but you might not be able to if they butcher your IP.
Well.
And the fans turn on you.
Well, that's like what I just said, As long as I can continue doing my thing, When AMC came to what's his name, Kirkman, said, "Hey, we're gonna take The Walking Dead and we're gonna make it into a TV series." He's like, "Fine, but I still get to make my comic. I still get to produce my comic and so forth." And they were like, "Yep." And they used his comics as a basis, but they trudged their own path. If anybody out there reads the comics and watches the show like I do, you'll know that the TV series, did their own thing. And I have no problem with that whatsoever. It's a totally different medium and they can do that, Right. But very much like Game of Thrones and so forth. So I'm perfectly fine. If anybody out there wants a property, I have one for sale. As long as the price is right and you don't interfere with me making my comics. You know what? I realize this panda definitely needs the black. I thought I could get away with just the gray, but it needs the black. Yes, my panda needs sound effects. Of course it needs sound effects. Right, Avery?
No.
You guys ever notice that Avery disagrees with like everything I say? He does it all the time.
No, I don't.
Dick.
I do this to him all day, every day.
All the freaking time. And what's even worse is when he gets Michael and the two of them gang up on me.
Yeah,
and they do it all the time.
Me and his son, dude, just start like wailing on him. It's like psychological warfare. It's pretty messed up.
Yeah, it's very, very messed up.
It's borderline abuse.
Yeah, I do think so. I do absolutely think so. You know, there's a point in time where I'm going to get to an age where it's considered elderly abuse, mother. You know?
Yeah, but I'll be that old too, so.
It's still elderly abuse.
Yeah. Well, I'll just leave it all to Mike.
Do you know he and I went into a restaurant the other day, and we were sitting down waiting for our food, and one of the ladies that worked there asked us if we were twins. Like, I don't know why people think that.
We're 20-something year apart twins.
25 years apart, yeah. And I actually, my response actually to Michael was, you know, either I look really, really young, or you look 25 years older than you actually are, you know?
Are you guys twins? Mike's only like a foot taller.
Well, we were sitting down at the time, so.
The age difference is glaring. Like, Mike's face looks like a toddler's.
Yeah, and I at least have a beard and a mustache, so.
Yeah, you're very Guillermo del Toro.
He's definitely got my nose, though.
Yes.
So. It's one of the reasons why I think people think we're related. And we are related, by the way. I am his father. There's no denying that.
Are you twins? Oh, God.
All right, here's my Stan Lee panda. Doesn't look anything like Stan Lee, and it barely looks like a panda. So
I can't see.
Oh, don't even worry about it. It's not that.
Oh, dude, you burn that right now. You rip that right now. And you apologize.
I did. I ripped it. I apologize. Oh, now Cosmic says it's amazing. Oh, well. Sorry, man.
Sorry, Cosmic. Oh,
Cosmic, please go ahead and stop the video right now before you see what happens. Oh.
So sorry.
Yeah, he's too fat to be Stan. Yeah, but when's the last time you saw a skinny panda that wasn't a furry? Okay?
Stop with the furry.
Yeah,
Stop
I know.
with the furries. I'm getting excited.
Now, I did have a panda character, but I don't know why I wouldn't have a panda character for book 3, because it does take place in their version of Japan, so.
Well, do they have pandas in Japan?
I don't know.
They have pandas in China. I don't know.
Oh, China. Well, yeah, it's technically China.
It's Asia. It's
yes.
Not technically China, because this is a whole nother world here, that just kind of resembles ours in some ways.
Yes.
It's a whole nother world that kind of resembles our medieval fantasy.
Now I'm just thinking, do I have a place in book 3 that I could introduce a panda character?
Yes.
Now that I think about it, I do have. Well, as some of you who. Oh, hey Gizmo Trish, how's it going? As some of you may have been, if you were following along with some of my other live streams, I was designing a Griffin character, and I just realized I could probably work a panda into that story.
Oh.
So I'm definitely going to have to. I'm definitely going to have to design a panda character for Hero.
There you go.
Yeah, yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to do that.
Panda in book 3. See, anything you can do, anything.
I know, I know.
It's your comic book. You can put anything in there you want.
I know. Isn't that awesome? Isn't that great? It feels good to be a creator. You know.
I wouldn't know. I'm stuck coloring this one jerk.
Gizmo Triss says, "Wait, what's your book called? I'm trying to make a new comic, and I need a name to go. And I need a name. Got any names? Well, depends. What's your book about? You know." Commodore says they do in Japanese zoos. So I'm assuming that he's talking about the pandas.
Yes.
All right. Well, guys, I'm definitely absolutely going to have to create a panda character. But you know what? How do we make this panda character different from all the other panda characters out there?
He can't be like Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah, I know. I understand.
They can't. He's got to be something really, really different.
How about a skinny panda?
Or go against type. Instead of the goofy fat guy. Yeah, he's big, but he's like oddly agile, graceful. Or something, go against that.
Oh, what if I made him like based on Jackie Chan's Drunken Fighter? One he's always wobbly.
Drunken Master.
Drunken Master, yeah.
No.
He doesn't have to. He's not a drinker. He would just be.
No. I know what you're talking about. I know what the style of kung fu. I just think it would be cool to do something completely unexpected, like you wouldn't even think.
Well, for a kid book, having a character who's very wobbly and obviously inebriated would be something different. But
no, I mean type. The panda's the kung fu guy. You make him any style of kung fu, and
oh yeah, I could see the reference.
And it's automatic. It's
automatically gets reference to Kung Fu Panda. Yeah,
it's like, oh yeah, of course the panda does some type of kung fu.
So he would be not a fighter then.
Yeah,
you wouldn't make him a fighter. He'd be something else.
Yeah, go against type.
Cloak. It's going to be a little. Okay, wait a minute. Gizmo says it's going to be like anything kind of book. Also, you should make a cyborg panda that's fat. Yeah, I just don't think there's any cyborgs in this world. I mean,
if there's anything like that in Hero's world, it's probably functions something closer to being steampunk, because it's clockwork, like mechanical.
Yeah, well, we actually do have a character that has a robotic leg, but it's made out of wood and joints. So
yeah,
I'm not going to go into any details on who that character is, but
well, you're not there yet.
Yeah. I kind of like the idea of making the panda maybe, I was going to say goofy, but he has a cloak and seems real scary. Dude, what I just said is really different. You should do a panda in a cloak that is scary. Make the character scary, huh? I think making him mysterious maybe, but maybe not scary.
Yeah, like a magician.
Well, the backup story. The only thing that we have so far in the backup story is that there's griffins in it. So Mike was supposed to be doing a little research to see if there were any griffins in Greek mythology. but I don't think there was.
It doesn't matter. You're mixing mythology, so
Well, yeah, I know.
you're you know, mixing and matching wherever you want. So it doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Ooh, make him a wizard. Well, there is in this particular in book 2 there is a witch, who's part of the story, and she's actually based on the goddess Bast, the Egyptian goddess. I haven't exactly fleshed out her character other than I just drew her in one panel. I don't even think I've written out the name for her. But I wonder. All right. We got a bit of a body going on here. We got a bit of a happy-go-lucky kind of character. Ah, there's a 1,000-legger in my room. Okay.
Oh, what?
I don't know. Maybe it's a millipede or a spider or something like that.
Oh, yeah. Or a centipede or something.
Oh.
You kill it with fire. Or don't. You might set your house on fire. So forget I said anything.
Would a panda look good in a wizard hat?
I would go with a hooded robe on a wizard hat. That way he's mysterious before we get to know him.
I almost want to draw him like a jester, but have him also be serious at the same time.
You can.
I know. I can do almost anything, you know?
It's like it's your book.
Well, you know, I do have to get approval from my colorist and his idea of what I'm doing.
I don't care.
Avery's like, yeah, if I had written this book, there'd be no cute little characters in it. There'd be everything would be serious and dark and.
I'm not the guy to write an all ages children's book or all ages appropriate book. I'm not the dude. I can help make that book, but I'm not the dude to write that book.
Okay, got the centipede. Very good. Good job, Cosmics. All right. You know what? Just thinking about doing something with. Well, maybe not. Never mind. I had an idea, and it's not going to work. It didn't look good. But we have this character. He's a panda, and he's also maybe he's a traveling magician, a traveling wizard. You know. Would he have like a staff? Well, if I gave him a staff, it wouldn't put it in this hand. This hand's going the wrong direction. No, he needs a belt of some type, or a satchel or something. Something where he keeps his magical instruments in.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, it's got to have a buckle, because all belts have to have a buckle.
Sure do.
And then you'd have a big old bag filled with all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, you could be like, hey kid, want to buy some fireworks?
Cosmic says, "You're welcome because I brought up the panda and some crap." Yeah, thank you very much.
See, he fixed it.
You know what? What if we put a centipede in here somewhere? I'm just kidding.
Are you trying to give Cosmic nightmares? That's not right, dude.
Okay. Gizmo says, quick question. Can you draw on the cloak skirk and GT on the back for my initials? Just wondering. Oh, absolutely. Consider it done. All right.
All right. I think I've got the flashback scenes done for the story in a story on page 80. But yeah, 93.
Oh, okay.
And I'll color the characters tomorrow. And
okay. No, don't rush. No rush.
No, I want it done.
No, I understand.
I thought we were done, but I somehow missed a page, and it's because I jumped around coloring so much.
Well, to be honest with you, man, I almost think, because I know you did a lot of those pages early in the process, you might have done it and then just for some reason kept the old file.
No, I opened up the file and it wasn't done.
Oh, okay.
On page 93, I was like, "Oh yeah, that one's not done." The other one you're talking about, you have somewhere. It's just all in one, not the 2 pages.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know where my file is. I think I even posted it on Instagram when I don't know where my file is. It's not in here.
Okay.
So you have to have it.
Cosmic says, "Ooh, when the people are trying to hurt him, he can use a centipede to attack them or scare them." You know what? I might use a centipede or something similar to that in the story, because I mean, I use a scorpion at the beginning of book 3, so. And actually, there is a centipede, like millipede looking, in the first couple pages of book 3. Maybe that's a way I could connect this character's story to the beginning of the book. That might actually work, but I'll have to play around with it. And then somehow I have to figure out a way to get a griffin in there. That's probably going to be the hardest part. I told Mike to do research.
Okay,
I don't think
you said he was a traveling wizard that does like a show, right? At least that's what what he uses as a cover for who he really is and what he does.
Yeah.
Well, he rides around instead of having a caravan with him for traveling to do the show, a giant centipede is the entire caravan with like the little traveling sideshow attractions and little housings on the back. And
you do realize I have to draw this, right?
It's like, like Howl's Moving Castle kind of thing.
Oh yeah, okay, I got you.
On the back of a giant centipede, and they like a traveling carnival on a train or something, but they're using a centipede, a giant centipede for their traveling show.
That does actually sound like something cool to draw. Now I just got to figure out how I work in griffins into the story.
And the giant centipede sort of forms this half circle that puts all the different attractions in like this sort of semicircle, and they throw up the banners over the front and drop down the sides for the stages to come down.
Mm-hmm.
And then just fold back up, and the centipede straightens himself out, and they go trucking along.
You do realize I have to draw all that, right?
Well, you want an awesome idea.
Well, it was an awesome idea.
It's
That
now you have to handle it, Roy. Handle it.
That could definitely be a splash page or two, you know?
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
It might just be. I'll have to figure out a way to make it.
Your customers demand it.
I'm going to have to figure out a way to make it happen.
Yeah, they love the idea. They're already waiting for book 1 and 2 and 3. So in book 3, you have to put this in there.
Okay.
Your customers
it'll have to have.
They demand it. Demand it, guys. Demand it.
Comic says, "Oh my God, there's a centipede in my drink." Oh, that's a little too much.
Oh, oh my God, yeah.
Gizmo Trish says, "Could I maybe take the panda cloak idea and make mine fat and cyborg?" Go for it.
Yeah.
Go for it. Yeah, I don't have any cyborgs in this story, so. But
yeah, this story is very much like the Hobbit cartoon meets like Secret and M type of thing.
Yeah. Actually, I had a friend of mine who reviewed it one time and said it's a cross between Bone meets Conan, but kid-friendly. And I really like that idea.
That works too.
Yep.
That works too.
You know, it'd be really funny if this character actually knew Granny Aura. That might actually be kind of cool.
That would explain why he's already knows who Hero is and is looking for him.
Well, he's in the flashback story. He doesn't actually meet Hero. Unless
that's the reason you have the flashback story in that episode, is to introduce this character who already knows Grant. I'm just saying. Because the character's too cool to just be in a little flashback and not be shown in their full color, full grandeur. Because these flashback stories tend to be colored monochromatically.
Yes, they do.
You want to introduce him maybe in a flashback, but he needs to pop back up.
You know what? I hate to say it, but he's getting saved for book 3. I have to hold him off until book 3. Because I have so many new characters in book 4. He's going to have to be held off to book 4 because I have so many characters that are being introduced in book 3. I honestly don't have room for another new character. But I could easily see where he could be not in a flashback, but as part of one of the stories for book 4. Because book 4 is supposed to be the pirate story. And he could be traveling with the pirates, you know? I can absolutely see this happening. Which means you guys may not see him again for a while.
Yeah.
But, I definitely can find a place for him in book 4.
It all depends on how good things do, you know?
Hey, book 4 is happening no matter what, so...
Yeah, but it's between it taking 3 or 4 years to get to it, they get it done, or 2 years.
Yeah. No, I understand. I would love to be able to do a book a year, but, you know... All right. Can centipedes die in water? Ooh, I don't know.
Probably anything that breathes can drown.
Well,
if it needs air, it can drown. All right. Yeah, I think the flashback is done. So I'll try to color the top panel tomorrow since I'm off tomorrow, and work on pages 1 and 2 tomorrow also.
Awesome.
Most of the background's already done. Page 1. It's getting close.
Yeah. But yeah, as I was saying, Jen and Mike are going to a movie tomorrow night. They're going to go see the new Harry Potter movie.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll have some time to work on some stuff.
Cool.
Yes.
Work
yes.
on the Indiegogo.
Yes, that too.
That should be #1 priority over any other art.
Right. All right, what do you think of this guy?
All right, let me switch what and see your screen.
Let me move my camera up so you can see the whole thing.
The whole thing. Pretty cool.
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah.
I'm just going to ask someone to kill it. Comments. Cosmics, that's funny. All right, I like this character a lot.
Yeah.
Man, I may have to find a way to have him referenced in book 4 or book 3 so that when he shows up in book 4, people already have an idea who he is.
Okay.
Maybe he can be part of the flashback in book 3.
Mm-hmm.
And so that when his character shows up in book 4, you know, it's got more of an emotional, you know, thing to it. So.
Yeah, because so far, like in book 1, the story within a story things are world building.
Yes.
And it's not about directly what's happening sometimes. You're just building the lore of the world.
Well, characters that are in book 1's story within a story are actually in the backup story for book 2.
Mm-hmm.
You may not realize this yet because you haven't gotten that far yet.
Yeah,
but
I know, but it's world building. It's not directly related to what Hero's doing at that time.
Yep.
Which is fine. World building's good. 10 graphic novels planned so far.
Yep.
That's a lot of world building.
It's a lot of work, guys. All right, this one I'm not going to tear up. I'm going to keep this for later. So, all right, everybody, listen up. It's already 1:45. I'm tired. I got to go to work in the morning. Avery's off tomorrow, but my skinny butt's got to go to work. So I'm going to wrap this stream up tonight. I thank you all so much for joining. Cosmics, thanks for giving me the idea for the panda. I'll have to mention you somewhere in there somewhere. Gizmo Trish, thank you so much for coming and hanging out. What's my work? I'm not going to tell you that. I'm not going to dox myself any more than I already have 150 times already.
He's got a normal day job.
Yeah, I have a normal day job. I push.
We both do.
I work for a company and I push numbers and I also stock shelves too. So
yeah, I push a broom and stock shelves.
Yeah. So that's
and scrub toilets. I'm a peasant.
Can it be named Near Cosmics? I'll absolutely consider that. Absolutely. You know what? I'm actually going to write that down. Cosmics may actually be somewhere in the name. That'd be cool. All right, guys. I appreciate y'all joining. I am going to live stream again on Friday. If anybody else wants to hang out, I do have things I have to do Friday, so I will be more focused on what I'm doing instead of just going all over the place, but you never know. And could the cloak be magical and called GT? Absolutely. You know, I'm writing that down as well. You guys are going to start asking for royalty checks eventually, aren't you? I just know it. All right, everybody. Thanks a lot for joining us, and appreciate it, and hope to see you all again next time.
Thanks a lot, guys.
All right, bye.